like, hooray! It's understandable. And it's going to get better, I think. Okay.
Okay.
Where shall we start?
Yes. I don't know, but we're on air. What's this? Ah, what a mess.
Yeah,
It's the best, though. It's cool. It's happening.
Okay.
I did it, Luis.
Ah, why you did it?
Because we're going to start, right?
Okay, but I was doing it.
Sorry, because Julia started to talk, and I think we were starting. So
Okay, so Julia, go on. You are
okay.
coordinator.
I think the short synopsis is almost there. We don't need to discuss it. But about the conceptual proposal, there are some things I think we need to discuss. One of them is about the locations. How will we, I mean, there was this idea of matching the locations with these new urban manners that will come out of the workshops. I propose that we leave the locations to the teams who want to apply for the call. Because I was thinking, if we say them that here and there, some places in Oslo and so on, then it wouldn't be as inclusive, because people don't know Oslo or places. And also, if we want to make them present their works in the public in that locations, it is better if they choose it themselves. So they work on a place that they already know. Yes, that is one of the things we need to discuss. It is in this text where Pascual writes the two making local impact finding locations.
Yeah, not sure yet, but right now my opinion is that the location should be locals, because I think it's more close to our approach and more close to about what we are selling. I mean, we are talking always about the locality and all these things, and also we are talking about this triennale as a methodology that we can reply in other locations. So if locations are not local, then what's the difference between replicating the methodology in London or Paris? Would be the same, because the location could be everywhere. So it doesn't matter where we replicate the location. So for me, the power would be to create a methodology and a context which we can assure that can build global knowledge and have a real local impact. So the first prototype of this methodology is Oslo, is this triennale, and we need to demonstrate that we can do it with this first prototype. But then we can replicate this, for example, in Paris. But if we do it in Paris, it's because Paris wants to have this local impact in Paris, wants to have this global knowledge in the city of Paris. Then we can do it in London. Then we can do it in Madrid or Barcelona, whatever. But to truly have this local impact, for me, locations should be locals. So we can defend this I don't know how to say this argument that we are talking about all the time about locality. If everything is global, it's like it's something that can CivicWise can do, but also another organization maybe could do it. Our difference, our value proposal is that it's not just to build global knowledge, it's not just to connect, it's not just to build a network, it's that we know how to use that global knowledge for real local impact and to have real local impact. And we are going to demonstrate this in Oslo, having a local impact in Oslo.
And the problem with that for me is if you say specific spaces in Oslo, how will you make all these teams who will come up with projects to understand the context? Or will it be open to, I don't know, people based in Oslo or people who already know that space? That is my main concern in order to not to make it exclusive.
But if we make, yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was thinking, Maje, to have an open call for location spaces, and then to have an open discussion about this location. So all the information, the context, everything about these locations, local locations, all this process is open. So when you are going to propose a project for a location, you have all the information, and also you have local person linked with this space. Because if we make, I mean, where we are going to build the teams in the ongoing process. So first time we have these new manners, and we are going to have people linked with new manners, people who are working in these new manners. Then we have an open call for locations. So then local people can propose to trying to build some projects in that location. Then we have the open call for projects, and then this the last one open call is to make a proposal of a project, a specific space with a new manner already linked with this space, and you have all the information about the local environment, the local context. Also, you have contact with the local. I mean, if you live in Paris, you can connect with locals to have information about the location, build this network, and we have built the communication lines. This is the way. I mean, for example, when we have a project in Madrid and we build a local work group, what the thing that we can assure is then people in CivicWise working in London can work in a project in Madrid because he has or she has all the information about this project in Madrid. He or she has all the knowledge about Madrid because has also a local. So this is the difference for me that we're proposing.
For me, I mean, your argument is really solid. If you say then why we are doing this thing in Oslo, your answer is, I think, really okay for me. But then making an open call for locations, I find it a bit hard because what are the parameters for us to select and who are going to apply for the locations? Are we making like maybe not open call for locations, but maybe we are making an open call for communities? I don't know. Who are already existing, and they are kind of I don't know, and they would like to ask these architects about their territories, but I don't know if it is like in Oslo that they have these strong communities that they want to take over, like you are having in Madrid or in Valencia.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah, about that, about the hard could be to make an open call for locations. I agree, and I was having the same doubt because of the same. I mean, what I was writing here, because at the first time I write open call for location, and then finally I write finding locations because of that. Not making an open call, but to having a local work from us, from the curatorial team, with locals, stakeholders, with local, I mean, everything, communities or public or private. I mean, it's to simplify the process to find the locations, not making an open call, but to a local work from us. Then when we find the specific location, we make an open call for the projects for these locations.
And we can also say that we are going to work closely with the Oslo Architecture Triennale board and all the secretariat and stuff, because there is an existing team there and they have the context and so on. We can say that after what we see out of the workshops, we will try to make some spaces, kind of discussing it with the local people in Oslo, the board, secretariat, and so on.
Yeah.
We can, and then we will ask for a kind of a, and will it be kind of a cross-matching? See, there will be like 8 manners, and there will be 5 locations. So will we say that there is these 8 manners and 5 locations? The teams can do whatever they want, or are we going to say how will we do that?
I have doubts about that. I don't know. I don't know if it should be completely free, because my right now to find the locations, my bigger concern is because why we select these locations. So I mean, what are the rules or the reasons that we are going to have to find this location? Is because there are locations that have mobilized community that are asking for something in that location, or it's going to be locations active right now, so, or could be is going to be completely free? Because I think this is linked with the manners, because I mean the state, for let's say the state of the locations is going to conform the way we work with the manners, I think. I don't know if I make.
Yeah, Maher written something, and I agree with her, just that we don't have to know the exact locations now, but we can give some general ideas that spaces with the potential of transformation or something like that. We can just say it, and we will discuss it with the local people in Oslo, and even through during the workshop sessions, we can also discuss it with the groups that are already there, if they have seen some strange spaces and so on. I think we can kind of a little bit leave it open. But then, if we go further, we still have this question that will we say we have 8 urban manners and 5 spaces. You can match it as you want, and come with a project proposal. Shall we say it like that, or shall we say that these are the 8 manners? One is about, I don't know, about care. childcare, healthcare, care in general. And for care, we choose this location. Then if you are going to propose a project, it has to be that manner in that location, or do we just leave it free? This is the question.
Yeah. For me, not sure by now, but what fits the most for me is to have 8 manners, for example, 8, or I put 8 to try to simplify a little bit, but could be more or less, but whatever. Yeah, but to have, for example, but to have, for example, 8 manners and 8 locations, and to link one manner to one specific location, because I think this this could simplify a little bit the selection of the location, and also could clarify the open call for projects. So, for example, let's say that one new manner selected or one theme selected is about civic technology, let's say. So we select a location which we find that needs a proposal in this theme, in this field, a solution around this field. So we make an open call for projects around this theme and around this location.
And what do you think? How will we work with the workshop coordinators in that period? Or are they totally done when the workshop is finished?
Sorry?
There will be workshop coordinators. And are their work finished when the workshops are finished, or will we ask for them to be the jury members for the selection of the projects?
No, for me, not sure, but for me, because I think that this thing about coordination and collaborators, for me makes sense in the call for projects, but not sure if makes sense in the call for new manners. I mean, I don't know if the call for new manners should be like an open workshop. I mean, we make an open for manners, okay, or for themes. And for example, let's say that we have like 50 new manners proposals. Then for me, the idea was to make a, I don't know, to filter these 50. So trying to go to 50 to 8. So we make the first filter and we select, for example, from these 50, the curatorial team selected like 15.
Yeah, that's okay. But after that thing, after that 1 week of these workshops, and they define these manners as the project briefs, then we make it with spaces, and then we are going to select some projects to be exhibited.
Yeah. This project,
the workshop coordinators should be joining us for the selection of the projects.
No, but not for the selection of the project, because the coordinators is the one who make the proposal for the projects.
Okay. Okay.
No?
I don't know. We can also leave that open. We don't have to, I think, we don't have to say that the coordinators are done when the workshops are done. It's just, yeah, we can also leave that open. We can see, I mean, if we enjoy working with someone in the process, they can just keep collaborating with us. Why not?
But I don't understand in which period are you saying that they can work with us or not?
I'm saying that first we do these 1 week workshops. We have selected the coordinators. All is okay. Then we select the spaces, and then we go for a second call for the projects.
Yeah.
And we have like 200 projects coming all over. When we are trying to decide which projects will be exhibited and which will not be in the Triennale, are we going to take these workshop coordinators as juries for the selection of this?
Yeah, but that's what I was saying before, that I'm not sure if the open call for manners should be structured with coordinators. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know if the open call for new manners could be just this open call. We selected this from these 50. We make a selection of 15, and we invited these 15 people to go to the open workshop 1 week or 3 days or whatever. But we invited them to go to these workshops. But once we go to that workshop, the idea is just to all together, all the people together who come to that workshop, all the people together, trying to select it from these 15, 8. But trying, because maybe we can merge some things or some manners or something like that.
First, we do an open call for workshops to find these urban manners.
Yeah.
We receive 50 calls, 50 submissions.
Yeah.
We just select 8, and these 8 call for participants. And then, if you think that there are 8 groups and like 10 people in each of them, these 80 people work together for 1 week in Oslo. And these 8 teams come up with 8 different project briefs. The coordinators are defined even before they come there. The participants are known. So it's kind of and they provide us this, like, this is the project brief for the open call.
Okay, but what I'm asking myself, I'm not sure, is if instead of replicate this coordinator collaborator structure in the open call for manners and also in the open call for projects, not having this structure in the open call for manners, because we want a very open discussion about the new urban manners. So not replicate this structure, and instead of have already closed the list of 8 at the beginning of the workshops, trying to work on that workshops to make like an in-between filter with all the people, not just us. I'm not sure, I'm just asking.
Can I ask something in Spanish? Hola.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Pascu. Una pregunta corta en castellano. Lo que se está hablando del Call for Manners no está en el Progress Plan todavía, ¿no? ¿O me estoy liando?
No lo sé. Sí, pero creo que no está llamado así. Sería la primera, el Call for Workshops, Ideas and Coordinators, si no me equivoco.
Porque los coordinators son los coordinadores de los workshops, tengo entendido. Vale. Entonces la persona que coordina tiene que traer una idea detrás, por decirlo así. Lógico. Vale, vale. Si es que estabais hablando de los manners todo el rato y digo, no lo encuentro. Vale. De poner esto como en un librito y tal, ¿lo vais a encargar vosotros o como...?
Sí, mañana me pondré a maquetarlo.
Vale, digo, si necesitáis ayuda o algo.
Julia, what do you think? I'm not sure. I was just to imagine like a more progressive structure in which we start making real open, and we end up in a more structured way to work with the call for projects, with coordinators, collaborators, and participants. So it's like a process. So we start making a very open call, and we are like from each step, we are like going from real, global, and open to very local and concrete ideas and projects and teams. But as I was saying, I'm not sure.
What I was proposing was much more like this Media Lab Prado's approach, actually, for the workshops, because they said it's kind of a small text about the manifesto, something like a manifesto, and then they ask for people to respond to that in a structured way. So at least you have people who know how to do a workshop, which means in the end, you are going to have some outcome. Which I think is much more trustworthy for the Triennale team, just like because it is more structured and you know that something is going to come out of it anyhow. If you just say, let's gather all around, hey, coordinators and participants, we are just going to discuss the world problems for a week, I don't think it would work anyhow. It's going to be a chaos. So we need to, I mean, our main position as the curatorial team here is to structure this thing and make it work. I don't think, I mean, think of our, like, even in the local camp, we knew already before going there the main topics that we are going to discuss. And people were responsible for keeping that discussion going. Yeah, it was flexible. We went from this group to the other, and now still we don't have the restitution file yet after 3 months. So we need to make this work, I think. Be more pragmatic.
Okay.
I think it's already open. You just open it for the coordinators. If you are not selected as a coordinator, you can become a participant. So it's in the second phase. So you also kind of share your power with all these coordinators because they select the teams and make it, I mean, they can consult us and so on, but
okay.
I don't think that we shall go to that direction, and actually not now.
Okay, then answering to your first question, if the coordinator should work with us in the jury, yeah, having that coordinators, yeah, I think that they could and they should work with us. Also because we are, I mean, the idea for me at least is to, as we are going to work with the civic wise methodology, all the process is going to be open, always, and transparent. So it's like, it's not an imposition that the coordinators has to work with us for the jury, but they are going to, I mean, they can work with us. So
if they want to continue working on that subject, they can just join.
Yeah, it's okay for me.
Okay.
Okay, then.
Mahe, I don't understand your question. They are going to come with an idea for a workshop in the first phase for the urban manners. Can you go through the text, because I think in the text it is much more better. And maybe even the progress plan.
Okay. Then we are agree that then we have a first phase when we make the call for manage.
Yes.
With this coordinator and collaborator structure. Then we have to find locations, and this is a work that is going to be done by the curatorial team with trying to reach local stakeholders and local communities and so on.
Okay.
And then we have the third phase, which is the call for projects. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And finally, how are we going to do it? Is one manner for one location?
I don't know. We can leave it open, or we can decide, because we can also come up with ideas and say that this idea can be best tested in that space. Maya says it's better if we leave it open.
Okay. I don't know, but for me, by now, I think that match one by one could be simplified. Could simplify the
how
process.
many projects do you think we need to have in the end?
Sorry, what?
How many projects we need to show in the exhibition? 40, 50? What do you think?
Don't know.
I think it should be something like that, 40, 50 projects. So we can just say 8 workshops, 5 locations, multiplied.
But when you say 40 projects, I mean, it's like to share not just the 8 selected projects, but to show, or how are you imagining this?
I don't know. We have 8 teams.
Yeah.
We have 5 projects for each team. I mean, you have 8 urban manners. I would say like that. And then you have these locations. But for each urban manor, we need to have at least 5 projects. Then we have 40 projects. So the location can be open. We can say everyone can choose one of these 10 locations. Or we can say everyone has to work on this site for this manor. Then we have 5 projects on the same location. I mean, it is more strict, but for me, both is okay. Leaving it open or closed.
What I'm imagining right now is that the open call for projects is, I mean, we have 8 new manors. Then we have 8 locations which match one by one with each manor. So, for example, we have civic technology in this location. We have collaborative housing in this location. We have to work on tactical urbanism in this location, and blah, blah, blah. So we have 8 locations with 8 new manors. And each new manor has this brief coming from the first workshop. Then we make this open call, and the open call you can choose in which location and manor, because each location has a manor linked. In which location you are going to make a proposal. what we can say, for example, maybe we don't need to be that specific in this point, but what we can say at the end is that, for example, you can choose from these 8, you can go for 2 maximum. So you can make like 2 proposals. Just one is going to be selected from you, but you can play to make 2 proposals if you want.
Yeah, but we agree that for each manner we are going to have like 5 projects or something like that, right? Because there will be a kind of a multiplicity in that, I think, thinking.
That's the thing. We have to measure, because, for example, if we have this Media Lab reference, what they prototype in this 1 week was 8 projects, which was 8 teams in 8 projects, working at the same time during 1 week, and then at the end of the week they present what they achieved in that week from each project. So that is, I mean, each project is going to have a team, I don't know, like 8 people. So if we have 10, it's going to be to manage a workshop of 80 people at the same time working during 1 week. Also to, I don't know, so we have to measure, because the idea is that if they agree to do this, we need to find financial support for this workshop, and this financial support needs to cover the accommodation and everything for all the people who is going to work on that. So much projects, much money we need to cover all the.
Yeah, but I don't think we need to worry about the funding. We can also propose workshops to be done in the summer. Then we can use the dormitories of the Oslo Architecture School, and so on. So.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying to have like a very accurate account, but at least to measure something. I mean, we don't want to have just 8 projects, okay? But I don't know if we need to go to 50, for example. So because we know could be very, 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 very difficult to manage a 1 week workshop for, I don't know, few hundred of people. So
no, don't go that. Okay. So the thing with the locations and the other things, I think. What do you think, Luis?
Oof, trying to follow you. Kind of headache. But I think we are mixing the exhibition with the show, no? Because we can't take into account the results, the outcomes from workshops for the exhibition. So we need an exhibition in anyhow, no? And maybe we need another call, kind of civic practices, only for that, in a simple way, no very complicated, a call and a selection of an amount of projects hanging on walls, but we need an exhibition.
Okay.
No?
Yeah, but
Can I say something?
Yep.
I try to say it in English. So, Oslo is not so big. I see.
Oslo is the capital of Norway.
It's not so big. And I think 40 projects are too much. But I think we can make, I don't know, 10 projects. And then for the exhibition, we can make a call for another project. And we can make an exhibition for both local projects and global projects.
Yeah, I mean,
I think maybe it's too much if we have to make our exhibition with our projects. I mean, with the local projects. Because
But,
I think now in Valencia, for example, 40 projects, it's, for me, it's too much. It's really cool, but I don't know.
but this is a triennale. It is happening once in 3 years. I think there's kind of a critical mass we need to show.
yeah, the thing would be about what Luis was saying. I mean, I don't know if all the projects that are going to be shown in the exhibition should be projects developed live in that 1 week workshop. I don't know. So we can have like a. I mean, if we say that we need, yeah, it could be a mix. So if we say that we need a 40 project selection to make a real exhibition, these 40 projects could be confirmed by I don't know, these eight projects prototype live during 1 week, which has a local impact, and then another 32 projects, which are projects already developed all around the globe, linked with these new manners. I don't know.
I think we don't understand the same thing when we say projects. For me,
Okay.
It's kind of an idea project that takes into consideration these new urban manners. It is just kind of it's an idea. It doesn't have to be realized. It doesn't, I mean, they should present it to the local people and so on and get into discussion. But if we have these 8 urban manners allocated to these specific spaces, then we can have 5 projects for the same space. It would show the potentials of that space and how different architectural offices or how different teams can think of that same space in a different way.
Okay, but then another thing that comes. Yeah, but another thing that comes to my mind when you were saying that is that this also could go against our argument, because we are talking about to build collective intelligence, but then at the end we have 5 different groups thinking about making solution for the same location. So it's like it's against our argument. It's like waste. Why not merge all these people to think together for the same?
Then you think that everyone has to reach to a kind of a consensus that a space should be like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. That, I mean, we are talking about this in CivicWise and also in all the proposal about.
Yeah, but is there only one way to? I mean, is there one possible solution?
No, there's not.
Architectural wise, for a space to be lived in that manner.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing. Because there's no just one way to make things, doesn't make sense to try to build different options, because each one could be possible or not, could be good or not. The best option is the option which can achieve all together.
And we choose that option as the curatorial team. And we choose that one option, just one. We say as the curatorial team that this one is the best one.
But choosing from that 5, you say?
Or what comes? Not from that 5. You say that just one project should be shown in a specific place with the specific urban manner.
Mm-hmm.
Who is going to decide on the team and the project? We, as the curatorial team?
No, the project is developed by the team.
Which team? Us.
The team around the project during that week.
The team.
Sorry?
Who is going to decide on the team?
We select the collaborators for each project. But then once we have the group selected for each location and each new manner and each project, then the project is going to be developed by during 1 week there in Oslo. I mean, what I'm saying is that if we say that we are going to have several teams working at the same time, trying to find solutions for a same problem, for me, it's a contradiction with our arguments. But it's not, I mean, for me the solution would be to have this mix for the open call, to have projects develop during 1 week, making an exhibition, but to have also projects for these new manners in other places. I mean, I don't know. For me,
the flow was extremely simple.
It's not complicated.
It was just like, first, you make a call for the workshops.
Mm-hmm.
Then you select the workshop coordinators. Then workshop coordinators select their teams in a second open call. Then these people gather around, I don't know, 8 workshops with 10 people, 80 people in 1 week in Oslo. Maybe 10 people is too much, 6 is okay. Then it's just like 50 people working on that project on their own together, but kind of everyone's working on their own team. And then we get kind of I don't know, kind of small ideas, manifestos of each team, which in turn becomes a project brief, because we don't want to say to the world that we believe the world should be like that. So we have these teams saying that the world might be like that. And then we take these things as project briefs and match it with locations and ask for some new projects. In the second phase, we say that we are advocating that we have these ideas, but I mean, there are too many ideas that you can generate collectively through collective intelligence and so on. But in architecture, I don't think there's just one answer to all these problems. So it can be many other types of spaces. So then you open it and receive projects, and 5 for each team is selected. It's just like we can even select according to the diversity of all the proposals. just to show how different it can be. I mean, collective intelligence can get us to a kind of a general understanding of the world, but I don't think it should get us into a kind of a totalitarian way of seeing the world.
No. I mean, I don't think that. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that. I mean, not just in architecture, in every problem, it's not just one solution. But that's the reason, because it's not just one solution, because there's no one solution. There's no the right solution, just the right solution. It's not make sense to build a competition between everyone to trying to think about the same problem. It's better to think all together about the same problem. It's going to be more efficient. This is the theory about collective intelligence. And that's why collective intelligence is contradictory with competitions in architecture. It's the opposite. When people make a competition for architecture, it's a waste of energy, it's a waste of time for a lot of people, it's a waste of everything. Think about, for example, Europan. Maje was saying before. Europan is a very big competition when a lot of young architects work with from 3 months, and then is one option is selected. Then the other ones is work wasted, is energy wasted, is knowledge wasted. Doesn't make sense. So the argument which collective intelligence and civic innovation brings is the opposite. It's not try to all try to work and to think about the same problem at the same time, but separated. Try to think about the same problem all together and trying to find a solution. It's not about the better solution. It's not about the better solution or not. It's about to have a common solution. So for me, if we say all these things and we have all this argument all around the proposal, but at the end we make this kind of, I don't know, this kind of a structure where we have 5 teams working at the same time trying to solve the same problem, for me it's contradictory with all our arguments. For me, this is what I would think if I see this from outside. I don't know what Luis and Maje thinks.
I don't know what to say. And I think this is a good idea if we work, if one team work in one location, but I don't know. I'm not sure if we can generate so much project for the exhibition. If we want to make this exhibition only with a project, also this project. I don't know. But maybe it could be interesting if I don't know.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I don't know if we solved the other point I was bringing up. It's about the exhibition and the workshop, because I'm not sure if we are, maybe it's me, no, only who is not understanding. But the first day of Triennale, we need something, no, to show, and then we don't have the result of workshops. So I understand that we need an exhibition, and then we are offering workshops, no, and we hope last day we can show something, and we don't know what we can show, because you are talking about the projects but it's about what we are printing plans, we are telling manifestos, we are making documents. I don't know what's the outcome of those workshops, but I think in any case we need an exhibition since the beginning, no?
But yeah, but that has a solution, which would be to make the workshops before the exhibition, before the open exhibition begins. That could be an option, but for me,
but Pascual, then we are not showing, we are not making workshop, no? We decided. I'm not saying, but we are changing our goal, no?
No, but I mean, that could be an option, and I don't know if Julia was thinking about this. This could be an option. The other option could be, and is what you are saying right now, Luis. The other option is to have at the same time the exhibition, the 1 week exhibition, and at the same time the workshops. So people who go to see the exhibition could also attend or go to see the show, and the show is 100 of people working at the same time in the same place, trying to prototype 8 projects to make a final exhibition at the end of the week. If we did this, if we do this, you need something to make the exhibition when the week begins. So for that, I think that's what I was saying, that Maje say that you can make a mix for this open call, and I think that could work and could simplify and make it powerful at the same time. So we have these brief new manners that comes for our workshops. Okay, then we have locations. When we make an open call for projects, we could mix this open call. So in this open call, we have an open call for projects, which are linked with the specific locations. Oh, sorry, better words. We can make an open call for workshops, which are going to be the workshops who are going to be developed during that week, trying to develop a project for a specific location, and then we can make an open call for projects. These open call for projects are linked with the new manners, but could be projects ideas from all around the globe. So these ideas, these call for projects that we selected could be exhibited from the beginning. So Monday are 32 projects linked with new manners that we work all together before, are exhibited in some place, 32 projects. At the same time, there are 8 projects which are being developed by 8 teams and are working live in that week, doing all the week, all together, trying to, I don't know, to find other solutions through collective intelligence for local impact.
I would never choose a team proposing that thing because there is this risk of getting nothing delivered.
Sorry?
There is this risk of having nothing in the exhibition.
Why?
Because it is overly open.
No, I don't understand that, because it's the opposite. Because if we have, I said 32, so just to say a number, but if we have 32 projects linked with this new manner exhibited from the first day, and at the same time we are working for the projects, we are assuring that we are going to exhibit something. Whether the workshops go well or bad, we are going to exhibit something. Then at the end of the week, these local 8 projects join the other 32 and make an open presentation for the work that they did. So would be the same that Media Lab Prado did. The only difference is that we don't just have the 8 local projects, but we have also global projects already exhibited.
Okay, now we are discussing the very structure of the whole Triennale process, because I thought that we had reached a kind of a consensus on that, and I see that we haven't. And I have been working on this text for like 3 days, and my brain is totally fried, actually. I can work on details, but I cannot work on these such huge decisions now. If you are going, if you plan to take this into this other new level, let's do it. But I'm sorry, I'm really finished. I cannot.
Okay, but
I was thinking that there is the structure we were proposing, and we discussed it with Luis and Pablo this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking it was complicated, but I thought that I had found a way to structure it, and I thought that it was working. But now you think that it's not working because it is against our own very ideals about collective intelligence, which I find actually a bit fanatic, by the way. And then you go for it, and I will just read it in the very last minute because I'm really done. Okay, and we don't have that much time to discuss it. For me, it's okay what you propose.
Okay, but anyway, for me, it's not about that. I'm just saying the things that comes to my mind at the same time that we are discussing. That's the point of this kind of meeting, I guess. And
yeah, but what we are discussing is very much fundamental stuff, and we should have discussed this earlier, not now.
Well, it's okay. Yeah, I'm saying the things when it comes to my mind, and comes to my mind right now. But I'm not saying that we need to go for that. If we all agree another way, it's okay for me. I'm just saying things that comes to my mind. I'm just saying that I don't understand the other option, because I mean the other option that because I don't know what you discussed Saturday. If you all think that, and you already discussed Saturday, that that the thing is to have these locations, and then to have an open call for projects, and then all the projects are, because I don't understand right now, for example, this kind of thing. the exhibition, and I'm just asking because I don't understand. It's not that I'm not saying that it's not done or decided. I'm just asking, trying to understand. It's just that the workshops are developed before the exhibition. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Then the idea was to
wait. Sorry, the final workshops happen.
There are no final workshops. Please, can you have a look at this progress plan?
Well, the final workshop, the workshops during Triennial. I don't know what's the accurate name, no, but the final. I understand that after that we go back to our homes and our job is over, no? So the final whatever is happening in a week, no? In Oslo, Triennial. So workshops are happening when? Before?
Yes, before. The workshops are for our research, actually.
So we are not showing the action of workshops. It's not part of our proposal, because I understood since the beginning that it was the core of our idea, our proposal. And that new word joke workshop, no, it was I understood it was the main idea. We are proposing a methodology, a process, and then a live human workshop.
Okay, but then trying to understand the other option. If we have workshops before the 1 week exhibition, would be like a 1 week workshops. Then the projects that comes from these workshops are exhibited during the 1 week exhibition triennial. So, and then what you were saying, Julia, was that during this 1 week workshop, we have 8 locations, and then what we can have is like several projects working from each location. So we would have
workshops have nothing to do with locations. It's about setting the basic principles. It's about understanding who we want to become, or these new urban manners.
Okay. No, but I'm not talking about the workshop for new manners. When we make an open call for projects, okay, I think that we are reaching the point, because I think that right now we were talking about 2 really different things all the time, because then, I mean, when you say that we make an open call for projects for a specific location, what we get from that open call is the things, I mean, we selected, and then this is the thing who is going to be shown in the exhibition.
Yes.
Okay, then sorry, because I was understanding another thing, and because what I was understanding is that something happened between the open call for projects and the exhibition, which is another phase of workshops. Because what I was thinking is that we make an open call for workshops, for projects, sorry. We make an open call for projects for a specific location, and we selected one project for each location to be prototype live during another workshop. So a team will be working during 1 week to try to go deeper in a first idea which proposed in the open call for projects. That's what I was understanding. So that's why I was saying, and I think Luis is also saying this when we are discussing if the workshops are at the same time or not of the exhibition, because we were talking about this second round of workshop, not the first one. That's what I was understanding.
For the second phase, I wasn't thinking of workshops, but rather more concrete, how you can visualize all these ideas in architecture. And you need to have it in kind of multiple way. You can have this idea of digital connectivity, but it can be transformed into architecture in different ways. So my idea was to kind of, it was also what Luis was bringing in the very first debates about how architecture is connected to all these things. What we try to do is to understand, not to understand, but is to show how can architecture take role in these future times. And
okay,
what can be the role of the architects and architecture?
Okay, but then, well, first of all, then I have to apologize because I understand it now, some misunderstanding that was happening during the hangout. For example, about the locations. If we don't have this second round of workshops, then makes sense not to have a specific location and to have global. I mean, that's why I guess that's why you were suggesting not to have specific local locations. So, because if the only thing that we make is an open call for projects, and then, for example, let's guess that we receive 100 submission, then we select 40 projects for that open call, and we exhibited that 40, and that's it. If we make this, and I understand that this is the idea that you had, Julia, then I guess that I don't know if it makes sense to have these specific local spaces or locations. What I was imagining, and that's why I was talking about local impact, is to work on local spaces, but to work, is to show how to work this way, is to show how to get new ideas for the city all together, not just some ideas from some people. So that's why that's the reason I was imagining this second round of workshop. For me, the real show was this second round of workshop. So we make an open call for projects with specific locations and with specific manners that we work in a first phase of workshops. And in this open call for projects, people can submit proposals for these 8 specific locations. First ideas to bring solution for these specific locations. But then they have to work during 1 week with more people trying to develop this first idea. That's what I was imagining. And that's closer to this Media Lab methodology, that they always are talking about prototyping, about action, about prototyping physical transformation. So that's why for me this is the real show. If we go with that and we think it is manageable, I don't know, because it's a big show, but is to have this open call for projects. Then you imagine that we get this 100, or imagine we get like 20 proposals for each location. So we get 160 proposals. Okay, we have 20 for each 8 location, and we select from these 20. We select one proposal for each location to pre-prototype during 1 week with more people, with a team. So maybe I've made a proposal for a specific location with a very first idea about bringing solution for that location. But then after that, if I'm selected, I have to work with a team with more people during 1 week in a 1 week workshop, trying to develop my first idea. And I have to trying to work with more people about how to transform the city. And this real show, what I was talking about before, is that this second round of workshops, the powerful thing would be to have it at the same time of the exhibition, of the 1 week open channel. So that would be a different channel. So you go for a channel in Oslo, and you are saying conference and exhibitions and whatever, but also you can see people working about bringing ideas to transform the city. It's like to see this live. And at the end of the week, you can go to the open presentation of what these 8 work groups get in 1 week. So that's why also I think Manje was talking about this mix in the open call. Because if we make this open call like this, we have this second round of workshops, we can have these 8 projects being developed during the week of exhibition, but at the same time, we can select it in the open call for project, we can select it projects or ideas globally. And these projects selected by the curatorial team, by us, are exhibited from the first time. So at the same time, then people can go to an exhibition and see some projects exhibited, can go to the other room and see 8 specific projects with 8 specific locations in Oslo being developed live. They can see this. They can see how they work live.
Architects as leopards in the zoo.
Sorry?
Architects like leopards in the zoos.
No. Why? You can join them. They are not in a zoo. It's an open workshop.
Yeah, they are being exhibited.
Well, I'm not seeing like that, but anyway, that's what I was imagining. It hasn't been like that, so I don't know. That's what I was imagining. That to have this second round of workshop and to have this second round of workshop at the same time of the exhibition. But then if we go to the other option, if we go to have just one round of workshops at the beginning to select the new manners, then I agree about what you were saying at the beginning of this hangout, that maybe to have a specific location in Oslo doesn't make sense. If we just have this first round of workshop, once we have the new manners, when we make the open call, maybe don't make sense to have a specific locations.
I was also thinking, while going with this like open call, what you call kind of a competing architectural offices, because it is something more doable in a way. You can ask for any architecture office to come with a kind of an idea proposal, but you cannot ask everyone to spend their whole week in Oslo.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, that if we, because I was imagining this, and that's why I was saying that that this has linked a lot of logistic work. So that's why I was imagining just 8 projects to have few people, not few, but it's okay. I mean, maybe it's right. Maybe it's too complicated, and
no, I just wrote the whole thing according to this progress plan, which I was thinking that all of us was okay with it. And now the whole process is not what I think it is, which changes the whole text and everything.
I don't think that we are changing all the text and everything. I don't know. For me, the only thing that we are discussing is the final step. And anyway, we are not changing anything. We are just discussing about this final step. And as I was saying, for me, it's okay. It's okay to go to the other way, to simplify the process, and to have and not having this second round of workshop. And then what we have, I mean, our show is this first round of workshop to get these new manners. Then we have, and then I guess we can maintain this phase to select the specific locations, and then we make an open call for projects. We make the selection of the projects as a curatorial team, and then we make an exhibition, and that's it. For me, it's okay. The only thing that I'm saying is that I was imagining another thing at the final step, but just at the final step. I don't think that we are changing everything.
Yes, really, I think that we agree on the fundamental. It's not being easy, but I don't see that we have. I am trying every time to bring the discussion to practical issues, no? And for that question, if we want or we don't want a live show in the Triennale, and I think I thought it was obvious for us, but if not, we must discuss it again briefly, because I think it's one of our strengths, is something in the core of our proposal, no, to show people working together, no, the collaborative action. So I think it's very important. I think it's fundamental. It's part of our proposal. But then I don't see the. I was asking about the exhibition, but there's a solution. I was, and sometimes it's like we are saying the same, but with different words. Maje is writing and she's saying almost the same, and then Pascual is like explaining in a different way, but it's the same. We have civic practices. It was a call for projects. We can do in the way we decide for this occasion, but it's the same. It's a call for projects in our way, what we want to show. And then we have an exhibition, and okay, we have something on walls or models, whatever, no? Videos, because we are talking about different manners, so projects can be told in different ways. We have an exhibition with projects related with our idea, with our proposal. And then we have some action. I think it's important to get nuts, crazy, and to control it. And we are offering something, no? Then the discussion about local, global, coming back again to our points, to our ideas, is bringing global intelligence to local action. So we can decide if it's only local or not, but the point is local, no? That we are proposing that we can bring from the ether global intelligence to apply in a local project, in local action. That's another main point of our idea, no? So I think that we can't lose those. It's about 2-3 main points. It's about the live show, the action. It's about the process. It's about, for instance, I am hearing a lot about juries, and we decide, and I think it's not so related with our way, and then it's another job we are assuming. So if we decide 2-3 steps, everything is decided by everyone in those steps, and it's okay, no? We are not mixing digital, physical, so maybe one of the steps is not needed face-to-face, so we can do it in a digital way, no? One of the calls, one of the processes. And finally, we are offering something different. We can take the first workshop kind of a test, a rehearsal of the final play, no? And I think it's good for us, and it's good for them, that idea that in between, in the midst, we are doing something to test the process, to know the place, in order they know us. So it's good, no? Then something digital in between, and something big, live at the end, no? And the final day with a lot of action, beautiful action, the telling results, ideas, not avoiding. I think it's important also the possibility of failure, not avoiding conflict, not showing that it's a human process, and not every workshop must get a wonderful result. No, maybe the discussion stays open and the project can get but that's as important as the final project. I think that's the what we can offer, no? And if we are not giving that in the week of triennial, we are losing half of our proposal. Is there anybody there?
Mach is gone, I guess.
No, I'm here. I don't know, I think that, okay, I'm going to say it in English. I think Julia has worked a lot, and I think everything is really good. And I don't know, but I think like Pascual, I like more this way to make, but I think that's only for the progress plan. It's just this, yeah, I don't know. So I think this conceptual structure and everything is really good. I think we just have to think how to pass this progress plan.
I don't know. Why do you think, Julia, that we are changing everything?
Because now we don't have any means to convince what we are going to show. And I think the process was starting from this more collective intelligence thing and was turning into this multiple space making thing, which is now turning into just one huge thing, which I don't know how to really include architecture offices into it, actually. And I really also don't know how can anyone really produce something in 1 week and visualize it in an architectural way in Oslo. And also, who can see it? Are you going to, I mean, the visitors coming from abroad, will they stay for 1 week to see that work being progressed?
About who is going to stay one week working?
No, you know who's going to stay for 1 week working. But think of yourself as the people who is going to this exhibition. And you are coming from Madrid to Oslo for the opening of the Triennale. Will you stay for 1 week to see the Triennale?
If I know that beside a regular exhibition, and also of course the conference and everything, there's another thing going on, and I know that this thing has a final conclusion at the end of the week. Why not? I mean,
have you ever finished an architectural project in 1 week?
That's the thing. That's what I was saying. That we need to be. That's what I mean. This is the thing that we were all the hangout misunderstanding, because when I was talking, I was imagining one thing, and you was imagining another thing. That's why I was saying that we need to trying to think about, in this open call for projects, if we go with this one week workshop, we need to be clear enough about what we are asking. That's why also I was saying that the location should be selected for us, because should be locations that could be affordable to have, not a very final idea, but to have an idea about an approach, and should be affordable location. So maybe it's not a, I don't know, like a football field, but it's a small square in Oslo. And for me, the idea is not to have final renders for that square at the end of the week. Is to have an approach link with a new manner to imagine the city, and to have this new approach develop enough in this 1 week, so locals can keep working on that when the triennial is finished. If we made this would be real local impact, because we were activating, we were developing an idea, and we were developing an idea enough to be continued when the triennial is finished. So what we were doing is to active new ideas and new communities locally, bringing global knowledge. And it's not just, it's like the triennial is not finished when it's in Sunday, and then triennial is finished, and we go to our home and everything. So if we go with this, I think could be more powerful. Also to bring this to try, I mean, to be able to build local communities, to keep working on local problems, and to keep working on local solutions. And to be able to connect these local problems, these local solutions, and these local communities, and be able to connect all this with a global community. Because when the triennial is finished, these local communities and these local problems and these local solutions has to be connected with a global network, which is all the network and all the community that was built during all this process. But to do this, we need to be very clear that we are not going to get final renders and 3Ds of some spaces of the cities. What we are getting at the end of the week was developed ideas, developed approaches, linked with new manners of urban, which can be developed after the triennial.
And don't you think it is a bit strange that we have all these 2 years to work for this thing, and then we only show a work in progress after all these 2 years?
Well, two things there. First of all, we are not showing just this process, because what I was imagining is that in that week we are showing this, but also at the same time we are showing an exhibition. That's why we were talking about making this mix during the open call, so we can have this open call for projects, but there's two kinds of projects which are selected and developed during this 1 week.
I'm in that totally.
Sorry?
We cannot call for new projects in relationship with these new urban manners that we ask after this workshop week. We cannot ask for this, but we can ask for already done projects. Yeah, I mean, we cannot take in ideas developed according to our own ideas for the creation of this Triennale. We cannot show these idea projects, but we can show already done projects. No, I think it's, I mean, don't you think it's different?
Okay, but first of all, we need to I don't know if I understand very well the last thing that you said, but if I understand good, you said that we can have the second round of workshop, but you have it before the exhibition. Is that right?
No. I don't think we need a second round of workshops. We need people working on the ideas that are put out in the very first round of workshops. Just people need to work on these ideas because the ideas will be already there.
Okay, but how do you imagine these people working on these ideas?
On their own, in a distributed way. And they send us the projects and we select some of them.
And how we can assure the distributed way during this second phase? I mean, when
just need everyone.
But then you are expecting finished projects, architectural offices spending time to finish the project for our exhibition.
But I was proposing that they would present these projects that they have to their own communities, get some feedbacks, and then take these, yes, as you call, finished projects, which are open idea projects for me, to the exhibition. And then the exhibition itself is kind of a second feedback round where you can even take this project further. And it gives you kind of a political power also. If you have these ideas exhibited in an international triennale, then you can go to your municipality and say that I have this project and why don't we make it?
But you are kind of holding an international contest, but with an award, with a goal, with it's no, you are calling people to work to produce. If it's not finished, I don't know what it's, because you were saying an architectural office can't finish a project in a week. No, so I understood that you were thinking something more advanced, if not finished, something, no, that you can show with images, with plans, with, and so you are expecting, first of all, you are expecting professionals.
Yeah, who are you expecting to show architectural drawings in an architecture triennale?
No, but who said drawings? I don't know. I was repeating maybe the result of the workshop. We had 8 workshops. Maybe one of them is a failure. They can't get anything because the discussion is so big that they are
No, the first workshops are just for developing ideas. It is not for developing architectural projects. Then we make a open call for projects.
Yeah, but
So, but you're proposing to divide.
I cannot tell myself, and I'm really tired. Can we work on the Google Docs and so on? Because I don't think that we are going anywhere. I mean, I was thinking that it was understandable, and I sent it to like 4 people today, the whole text, without even saying anything to anyone, and they understood it in a way. So can we work on the texts? I don't think it helps us discussing this any further now, because
okay.
it has been like 2 hours now.
Okay.
Okay.
Good?
Good.
Go on.
See you on Google Drives.
Okay, guys.
Okay, good night.
Get rest.